Okay guys, the Mate XTS is finally upon us, and this phone excites me a lot, okay? There is confirmation it is not the XT2, it is the XTS, possibly because it's really not a huge upgrade. But what can I say, this phone's already almost perfect anyway. So we have a bunch of images to go over. First of all, here is the flyer that they are advertising. Huawei Mate XTS, and then there's some Chinese that honestly I cannot read. But you can see the date, 2025, the 9th month, and the 4th day at 1430. So I've translated it. This is the Huawei Mate XTS Extraordinary Master. Full scenario, new product launch conference, September 4th, 2025 at 2:30 p.m. I don't know what that, equates to for you guys, where you guys live, but you can just do the math. 2:30 in China, 2:30 p.m. in China is, whatever your time is. So, hey, you can also see something about this photo. The theme looks to be purple. They might be having a purple leather back, like they did with the X5. I'll throw up an image here. So just keep in mind one thing also. I'll zoom in here. You can see the corner of the device. It looks like it's actually two different XTSs that are right next to each other. But what I want to talk about is the fact that it's pretty round. Like, that is more round, it looks like it is at least, than the XT. You can see how sharp the XT's corners are, and I really don't think that is... Yeah, that doesn't really... But who knows? Because what I'm about to show you kind of contradicts that round theory. In the next image, here is our first real-life image, which is, it's in a trailer for it, so it's how Huawei wants you to see the phone, but what I want you to keep in mind is the lighting in the room is kind of yellowish. If you look right here, this kind of crate has these aluminum sides, but they're not like perfect white aluminum. They're more yellow tinted. So keep that in mind, okay, as we scroll to the next photo here. So the next photo shows a much closer look, and of course, you can see a stylus. So this next image does show the closest that I can get from this view and or angle, which is it fully unfolded, and obviously you can tell we are finally getting a white color. Thank goodness. I love white foldable phones. I got the white Oppo Find N5 and fell in love with it. You can see it's clearly pretty simple and similar design to the XT, but it does look like the rails are gold, right? It looks like it's a white and gold combination, which, hey, it looks cool. I have nothing against it, but I'm kind of tired of gold being on phones. So I'll show you this next image here, and it's of the phone being folded completely. And this is an image right before it's folded completely. And you can see the stylus, and really it looks very, very similar to the XT. I don't see much of a difference, honestly. It might be thinner, and speaking of thinner, this image shows you that really I don't think it's thinner. I think it's the same thickness. But if you don't know, the portion of the phone with the camera is actually thicker than the two other portions of the phone that like fold on top of it. So that's as far as the XT goes. I don't know about the XTS. Maybe it's thinner, but in my opinion, in this photo, it does not look that much thinner. So once again, you can see in this photo, it's kind of looks gold and white, but like I said, keep in mind the room lighting is yellowish, so I don't know for sure, right? These are images from, of course, a trailer that Huawei wanted to put out, and this is how they wanted you to see the phone. So maybe it is gold, but really I don't think so in these next images. But you can see again just how thin this phone is insane, right? It's already insane what they managed to do with the XT. Why change it, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess, right? But keep in mind, once again, that octagon kind of camera, like, it just looks octagon, right? It looks like the same type of camera from the XT, and that isn't really consistent with the next image I'm going to show you, because look at this. First of all, you can see the hinge on the right side has like a color going on, like a color shift. You can see the top of it's kind of gold looking, like the XT, but the bottom of it looks straight up silver. And the one on the left looks straight up silver. It does not look gold at all. So it might be taken, like these photos might be taken in the same room as that one video was. So who knows, right? Who knows? This looks like they're getting rid of gold, at least for the white colorway, which I would love if a white and silver. Dude, imagine that. Anyway, top right of the corner, you can see this is indeed at least an XT. Right? You can see that little camera plate for the selfie camera on the back side of the phone. But what I want you to pay attention to here is the camera bump. That's not the octagon camera bump. That looks like, to me at least, it's silver, number one, which is great. This confirms my silver theory. But it's exactly like the Huawei Mate X6's camera bump. Like 1-to-1, scarily. It looks like someone cropped the image maybe and put it on, but honestly, it is very convincing if that is what the case is, which I don't think so. This looks real. So it could also mean that there are two variants of the phone, one with a good camera and one with a way better camera. Who knows? But if this is the case, I do not see the etched camera marks like the original Huawei Mate XT has. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. But the next image, man, this confirms it is a white leather XT or XTS at least. So if it's confusing, it was to me at first, the camera angle and the angle of the phone itself is something more like this, and it's more like this, you know what I mean? But with the etchings on the hinge and all of that, it kind of proves it is another XT or XTS with white leather. This is somehow a white leather and silver XTS phone, which shows you and tells you that in the video images of the guy holding the phone, the yellow lighting in the room is probably why it looks like it's a white and gold colorway. So there's that, right? But also, that dang camera bump. It's octagon here, but it's rounded like the Mate X6's camera bump is. So what I'm going to do is take a photo, just a photo, a similar angle and all of that, probably similar lighting, pretty good lighting, and I'm going to take a photo of my Oppo Find N5, just the camera itself at a similar angle. And I cropped the camera itself out. Look at this! I dragged it over, saved the photo in full quality, and when you zoom in, man, this is very deceiving. For some untrained eyes, dude, this looks real. And everyone's eyes are untrained as far as the XTS goes, because we really don't have any close-up shots of the actual camera area. So there's the real-life images of the Huawei Mate XS and release date. But what about the specs? Well, in terms of battery, we have heard that a 6,500 milliamp hour battery could be in this phone. It's possible, but it's more seeming like we're actually just going to get the same size, 5600. As of right now, Honor has that spot with their V5. And for the processor, the Huawei Mate XT has a Kirin 9010. This XTS will have a Kirin 9020, which has seen good improvements, actually a pretty big jump while maintaining a 7nm process, which is pretty surprising. Huawei, man, they do magic. It's going to have satellite connectivity, but that's probably only for China. There are talks about the display being a different type of glass and or material where it's less creases showing, but that it would definitely increase the price of the phone, and that's proven. And then the cameras are going to be getting an upgrade, but really that's it. That's not a lot. And keep in mind, it's going to be running Harmony OS Next or Harmony OS 5 or 6. So you're gonna need Easy Abroad for this thing if you want to use it with Google apps and stuff like that. But honestly, this phone is insane. I have very little issues with this phone. And if they can make it better, I'm all in. I'm going to be buying it, and it will be here. I will possibly be the first YouTuber in America to have it. But yeah, guys, other than that, man, please subscribe to this channel and to my channel, because I do some Beyblade videos, and of course, I do some tech videos on there as well. But, man, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, because the next video you're not going to want to miss. Peace.